Let's go, boy. Hey guys, my name's Josh Halter, owner and founder of the Bldg. Thank you for clicking on today's video. And you guys can see directly in front of me, I have Lucius's habitat. Now you guys notice that it looks a little bit different because truth be told, we had to gut it. We always like to say bioactive habitats, they'll last forever, which they can, but every once in a while, things don't go to plan. And unfortunately, things didn't go to plan. A couple weeks ago, we noticed those Texas crazy ants somehow make their way in here. One ant quickly turned into a dozen quickly turned into 36, and so on. So we made the difficult decision to, well, start over. And that is what this video is. And you guys know that I've had Lucius for some time. He is one of my favorite lizards here, and he is such a big boy Ackie monitor. Now these monitors are one of my favorites. They are not the smallest monitor, you know, they are small like your Timors and your Kimberly Rocks, but boy do they have a personality. And I mean, he is extremely food motivated, clearly. You can see him straight playing with his food. But with this video today, what we're primarily going to talk about is, obviously I wanted you guys to see having a bioactive habitat, it doesn't always go to plan. But I also wanted you to see what this tank looked like when we initially set it up. When we redid this habitat, I had Zachary, our animal wrangler, take care of it for me because, quite frankly, I just don't have that type of time as much I'd like anymore to be able to do those fun things. But he did a wonderful job. And you can see that a lot of the plants that he put in there did pretty good. The Cryptanthus earth stars are still doing good. The larger green earth stars are doing good. The Apontia cactuses are doing okay. The agave did not do so great. And I already know exactly why. Because this guy, he is just voracious. He is just a beast. I mean, look at him. We are so lucky to have him. And guys, he is no joke. He is bigger than almost any female that we found. And trying to find a female that can handle his vigor has been challenging. So we're really like I said in the earlier, we're really hoping this year that we're able to have a little bit of success. But this is a really good example of why we keep these animals the way that they do. Not only does he have an extensive network of tunnels and burrows in some of this substrate that is well over 30 inches deep on the back left corner and as shallow as 12 inches on the front, he also has so many little hiding caves and really made this habitat his own. It's very clear that he is hungry. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give him some of these. Here, buddy. I don't need tongs. You want it? Here. Let's go, boy. So yeah, we're really hoping that you guys enjoy this video. And again, this gives you a really good in-depth look. You can see how he has shifted all the biodegradables. You can see how he shifted some of the plants. And you can clearly see with some of the things that I'm talking about later in the video what some of his favorite spots are, because it is very, very evident that he is absolutely loving this habitat. Here you go, buddy. Here. Oh, that's a good boy. Yes, we love you, Lucius. Yes, that's a good critter. That's a good critter. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go. Let's get to building this 5 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot cages habitat. For lighting, we have a 36-inch solar grow fixture with solar grow LED light for the plants. Then for UVB, an Arcadia 12%, and for heat, a 100-watt halogen and an 80-watt Arcadia deep heat projector. Lucius is a big boy, and he needs large, sturdy, supportive branches, which is exactly why we got these big cork tubes from our recent Portugal shipment set aside just for him. We wanted to make sure that they're going to be thick enough on the inside for him to get inside if he chooses, but also sturdy enough that they're not going to break or crumble into pieces from his very, very sharp nails. You notice that we put a greater amount of substrate towards the back of the habitat, which is roughly about 36 quart bags of Terra Sahara. Ackies love to dig and burrow, guys. So we want to make sure that we reinforce that behavior by providing at least a 12-inch layer deep of substrate throughout the majority of the habitat. From there, we added in our BioShot. This is going to help reinforce our microbiological processes by introducing mycorrhizae, many strains, as well as a lot of other necessary things that are going to play a role in our long-term processes and health of our habitat. When we add in our biodegradables, you'll see that we're adding in some live oak leaves, some of our cleaned Colombian cacao leaves, some of our banana leaves, and of course, a little bit of spag moss. Now, having your biodegradables well mixed throughout your substrate is crazy important. And when you have an enclosure this large, using the lasagna technique with your leaf litter and sphagnum moss is much less labor intensive and easier on the back than hand mixing it together. Then from there, we are going to do a generous misting. You can see after we put in our biodegradable layer initially, we are now covering it with our final installment of substrate. We found this beautiful cork bark branch. We made sure to bury it partially so that way it won't fall under the massive weight of Lucius. When you're building for really active monitors and other burrowers, it's really important that not only is the wood and the rocks you're using reinforced, but as they dig their tunnels and burrows, that they cannot collapse on your animal. That is very, very important. The rocks that we're using is maple leaf stone. This is one of my favorite rocks to use, A, because it's lightweight, B, because it's beautiful, and C, because it works extremely well in reptile tanks. They hold heat efficiently, way better than substrate or other types of natural materials, making them great basking spot opportunities. They also release beneficial minerals into your soil when they get wet. And to top it off, they will naturally file your animal's nails. Just by them interacting with them, it helps file down those sharp points. We're trying to make sure that the rocks act not only as a structure for the base of the cork so it can't move, but also as little stepping stones for fat Lucius to be able to get on top of his cork tubes. So that way he has multiple opportunity zones to be able to thermoregulate by accessing different temperatures. We have been saving this unique piece of cork that was shaped like a helmet because we wanted to be able to provide a covered area in the back of the tank which Lucius can hide. He loves inserting his fat body into little crevices, so it's really important that he can get in and out freely. Now, for the plants, we got them all de-dirted and sanitized before they were even put in here. As you can see, we're planting them bare root. These are all from our recovery rack, meaning these are plants that we thought they were gonna die, and our excellent plant guy, AJ, got them back up to health. We use things from spaghetti agaves to that beautiful Betty Green cryptanthus to a prickly pear cactus, an aloe, and some red earth star cryptanthuses. And we tried some succulents. Honestly, we're gonna see how the small earth stars do as well as the succulents do. With how active that he is, we're really going to be making sure that those plants are reinforced with the rocks, as well as that it's going to be really hard for them to get dug up and shredded into pieces. And that is also why we're being very strategic with our placement of the plants to make sure we're not putting them directly under the heating sources in the habitat, so that way we don't cook them. Now, here's another product that we absolutely love to use, and we're primarily going to focus it on the right side of the habitat. And this product is the Exoterra Sonoran Stone Desert Sand. Now, this is a nice little additive to use in your arid setups because it adds another heat retaining element to the substrate surface. It also helps keep moisture within the lower levels, which is crucial for maintaining microfauna. The biggest thing that you need to look out for is making sure that your soil can aerate top to bottom, meaning oxygen can be at the very top of the substrate going all the way down to the bottom to prevent anaerobic bacterial growth. What this is also going to do is help create different microclimates within the substrate itself that is going to give Lucius lots of opportunities. How I was talking about the different thermal gradients at the different levels of the cork bark, the deep layers of the substrate are going to do the same thing, aiding in shedding, respiration, and hydration, which is really, really important. We're also concentrating this more on the hot side of the tank for that exact reason. We want to make sure that that soil is going to aerate appropriately to prevent those anaerobic areas. Now, we're adding some additional leaf litter to the top, some cacao nut pods, because A, they look nice, B, it also provides a secondary food source for your custodians, which is your springtails and isopods. And if you decide to bury them in the soil, when utilized with your BioShot, they will create essentially a microbial hotspot within your tank. And now we see the springtails. Look at all of those springtails. So that is approximately 15 cultures of our arid temperate springtails. Now, we culture them all on clay, meaning what's really nice about this is you can use these cultures to reseed your tanks over and over again as long as you don't completely empty them out. Simply mist the top of it so it has a little film of water and dump, or just turn it upside down like Zach's doing in this video and just cover your tank with them. Mist those little cups once a week, put some Bldg springtail grub in there, and you'll have those cultures forever. And it's really important that when you seed these habitats that you don't go light on your seeding, hence why we used 15 cultures. But now we have isopods. We have roughly 300 powder blue isopods in here. Now the powder blues, truthfully guys, they are some of the fastest breeding isopods that we sell. And they are going to stay in the middle and top layers of the substrate and within the cork bark and the heavy woods and seed pods. They are very prolific, which is why we chose the species, but I can guarantee you that if we do not keep Lucius fed, he is going to systematically hunt these critters down. So we're going to be paying attention to them to make sure that the tank does cycle appropriately and that it does continually have a healthy cleanup crew population, because they're going to play a vital role with the springtails in aerating this deep substrate. Last but not least, we're going to thoroughly mist the tank. We're doing this to make sure that the plants don't go deep in the shock, because while the BioShot is in there, it is not very nutritionally dense. So we're going to make sure that we're able to make sure that those plants get what they need, and we're going to water a little bit on the cool side to make sure that the substrate's nice and wet. And now we just got to add Lucius. I mean, just look at this beast, guys. You know, a little bit of background about this critter is, you know, he is 6 to 8 inches bigger than any female we've ever found. And we've had a hard time finding a female that can deal with him. We hope to this year, though, be successful with breeding them. And we're really looking forward to continuing this project because it's been a lot of fun working with him and having him in our showroom. I mean, look at him overviewing. I really appreciate everyone watching this video. I hope that it was informative for you. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a line and hit that like and subscribe button. The dude abides.